Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, fried fish, fresh fried fish. Unique New York, unique New York. It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. Hi,
Hi.
my name is Jeezy of Nazareth, and I'm here with, I want to make sure I get this correct. Steve Grobschmidt.
That's right.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
You nailed it. Oh, I mean, I shouldn't say nail.
Steve. So it's Steve.
Sorry. That look. Sorry. Okay.
So it's Steve. That's how it's
Steve.
pronounced. Okay.
Yeah, Steve. You got it right.
I was like, Stevie? Steve. I'm gonna be honest, you're not who I thought you were gonna be.
Who'd you
My,
think I was going to be?
my my assistant really dropped the ball on this. I
Oh.
thought it was going to be Steve Buscemi.
Oh, yeah. I'm really
And
sorry to disappoint you. I'm not
I
really
mean,
a
that's
big
not the
deal.
only reason you've disappointed me,
Oh,
my child. Um, but since you're here, I will not ask you about being a firefighter during 9/11 because that was not you. That was Steve Buscemi.
definitely.
And you are an indie author.
That's right.
Now, did
There's
you?
many of us.
There's way too many. The field.
I didn't say too many. That's your words, but go on.
Did you choose to be an indie author because you were like, money? I didn't need that. Success? What's that?
Yeah, I mean, I know the allure of indie authors. Some people think that's all glitz and glamour, but I think I kind of knew going into it, it wasn't going to be that. It's going to be a bit of a slog, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm all right with it. I don't need to make my riches off my books.
Well,
I
not
just want to get
everybody
them out
can.
there.
Do you know that I have like the best-selling book of all time?
Well, half of it.
I'm talking about the ones that are in the hotels, the New Testament.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Although I didn't actually write that, did I? I had
No, but it was written
ghostwriters.
about you. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, people were just taking my words and compiling them into stories and put them out in a book. So it's basically AI.
Yeah, it was AI before it had a term, like a
Exactly.
catchphrase. Yeah.
I'm going to let
You're
you know
you're the
because
originator of AI, really.
when you think about it, I am.
Yeah.
So anybody who sits there and knocks generative AI is going straight to HE double hockey sticks.
Yeah. I think that kind of settles that debate once and for all.
You look like you have a propeller coming out of your head.
I do, actually.
Oh, and I see that you got a haircut.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Yeah. Look
It's
at my
kind of a thing
glorious
in our
hair.
time now. It's like I think, you guys were longer and shaggier back in your heyday, but
Well,
all
yeah,
bald is kind of in now.
there was the fleas, and it was bad.
Yeah.
Things are
It would have
bad.
been a good time to be bald, really. Less fleas.
Oh yeah, but that sun just beating down on the dump. Well, you probably have melanoma.
I don't, not that I know of.
Okay.
I hope not. Now you got me worried.
Well, what was that wristband?
Oh, yeah, it's just, I like rainbows because it's like, when the rain's over, the rainbow comes out.
Yeah, I know. My father, aka me, it's hard to explain.
No, I get the
Um,
three persons. Yeah.
okay. Well, when I entered the world through my father, I sent the rainbow, and I was like, I'm never going to do that again. So
It's
I
probably good. That was kind of a harsh, I don't know. That one seemed a little harsh. Like, did everybody deserve that treatment?
so indie author.
I guess we're changing this. So, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want this to be all about me.
Yeah. You got like a 2,000-year-old plus book about you.
It's phenomenal. So let's talk a
Mhm.
little bit about Steve,
No,
uh, Steve
that's
Grobschmidt.
correct.
Okay. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your books.
Sure, yeah, I write science fiction. I don't know if that was like, if you even know what that term means, but it's kind of like the future. It's like way future, like spaceships and like um
That the world is going to end well before that becomes a
oh,
reality. Just between you and me.
okay. Okay, that's good to know. I mean, it's still fiction, so it's not like I'm really setting people up for disappointment.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
true.
good. Yeah, but
So
it's good to
anyway,
know.
so you wrote this
It's a sci
sci-fi.
Yeah, it's a trilogy. They're novellas. They're shorter, so they're kind of fast-paced, quick to read, but yeah, they're kind of set in like a cyberpunky kind of dystopian future. Things aren't great out there in the solar system, but um the main character is just, are you falling asleep?
Oh,
Wow.
oh,
I had years of education about your books, and I don't know that
whoa.
I fell asleep. And yeah, this is just a short interview.
I mean, you kind of did. I was there.
I probably did. Yeah, it's true. You know, but still, it's I think you can kind of tough through this for 30 minutes or whatever without complete
Okay.
disinterest.
What is the name of the trilogy?
The trilogy is called the Gamma Trita Trilogy, and book one is Gemini Girl, book two is the Divided Man, and book three is the Gorgon Void.
I know
Gorgons
things
maybe were kind of around back in your day.
allegedly.
Yeah.
I never saw one, but I am familiar with trinities and trilogies.
Yeah, exactly. It's
So
sort
I
of
get
like
it.
the holy trinity of cyberpunk, really, you could say. One could say. Not me.
One could.
Yeah.
I won't. Uh, so I did read the first book, and I want to
Nice.
say, yeah, I haven't read the other ones yet because um you you start off this story. Let's just let's just start right from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's got a lesbian.
Yeah, it does actually.
So you just woke up and chose sin.
Yeah. I mean, is that but it's a different time now. I mean, you're not still, are you cool with that?
Um,
The whole love your neighbor thing? Somebody wise once said that.
I feel like I have a brand to stick with, and for right now, I want to stick with it.
Okay, that's
So,
cool.
but your
Well,
book
I
also
appreciate you
start.
still reading it.
Yeah, yeah, it was a good read.
Good.
I liked the part where the lesbians made love.
So you're okay. I mean, it wasn't too bad of a sin then.
Well, now that I think about it, it's only gay men that are gross.
Oh, okay. There's none of those in my book, so
Well, whew, thank Dad. Um, so uh what so tell everybody a little bit about your series and what it's about.
yeah, so I mean, Lorelei Ogden's the main character, and as you've established, she's a lesbian, but that's not real central to the story. She starts off her life kind of, or the starts off the books kind of in this boring job, but she starts having some dreams and some headaches, and all of a sudden, some people are chasing after her, and she quickly realizes there's probably something about her that maybe she's forgotten or not aware of. But why are these people trying to kill her? And she kind of launches into this self-preservation mode she didn't even know she had. She just can't really trust too many people, and goes on this epic adventure to find out who she is.
Fascinating. And does that carry out throughout the trilogy? Is it her story throughout the
Yeah,
entire
she's the main
trilogy?
character, the whole trilogy. Yeah.
Oh, good. Good. It's good to have a strong lead character. I will say your writing is very frenetic. It's right from the gate, and
Oh
it
yeah.
doesn't slow down. Now, did you make that choice? Were you like, I need this to be action packed so people don't have the chance to stop and realize that I'm not good at this?
Yeah. I think maybe not quite in those words, but no, I figured like if they're going to be short, and I really, I was kind of committed to keeping them short, that I wouldn't I keep them moving so that people could, yeah, like it's, you can kind of, if you're really committed to it, you could read it in a day or two, a couple of days, and it's, yeah, action packed. I'm working on one of the fourth book of the entire saga, and it's going to be a little slower pace, but So I'll try
You wrote a
something there.
fourth
But
book
yeah,
in a trilogy.
well, no, there's a lot of debate about that. By people that are just trying to cause trouble. Like you've met those type in your life, but
Oh,
it's in the saga, but it's the start of a second series.
bunch of Judases.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
they're well. I hope that things work out better for you than they did for me. Do you
Well,
remember?
wasn't it kind of the plan though? I mean, was it that bad?
Well, it's not necessarily bad, but let's just say that um I can't hold a handful of M&Ms.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you could wear gloves, I guess.
But why didn't I think of that?
Those fingerless gloves, that would work, right?
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna go and get a pack of M&Ms and Skittles and Reese's Pieces.
They're all back in
Oh,
play.
I can't wait to hold sand again. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, if that's important, sure.
So, what do you think being an indie author really means as far as the craft goes?
Well, you're kind of, I mean, for some people, myself included, it's maybe your only way to get into writing because the getting through the traditional publishing methods are infinitely harder, more difficult to be seen. So it gets you in, but there's also a risk in that because Amazon and others make it so easy that literally anybody can do it. So there's, admittedly a lot of crap out there. So you really got to do extra to stand out from a sea of people that can just publish because it's free. So that's definitely one of the biggest shortcomings. You shouldn't go into it thinking you're going to be an instant hit after one book just because in your head
I
you're a big
mean,
deal. You definitely have to kind of
I
work at it.
was. I mean, that shit took off.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably less
They
books
made.
back then.
Do you know how many movies they've made of my? Oh, I mean, there probably was a lot less books, but
Yeah.
but
Still though,
people made so many movies and musicals and TV shows about me.
absolutely. I mean,
That
you
was
can't,
just
yeah, it's still going on. I mean, I just saw a commercial for a theme park based on the Bible. So it's like there's still, stuff going strong.
they built a theme park.
Yeah, there's like a Noah's, like, the big ark and all that.
Holy
Crazy.
cow!
Yeah. Well, there's
Oh,
cows
I
for
shouldn't
sure.
say holy cow. That's more of like the
Others,
Hindi.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But cows are
Um,
there probably.
in the theme park. Well, if they're going to do a Noah's Ark, they just need two.
Two of every, yeah. So I mean, you're talking like how many species are out there? Millions. So it's like two of each. It's a pretty big boat.
Oh, you think they meant two of like every like species and subspecies and
I mean, other than fish and stuff, you'd think. Otherwise, how do they populate?
I'm having a kind of crisis right now.
I mean, you had a long time I mean, this can't be the first time you're thinking about that.
Well, I've been kind of busy answering prayers.
Oh, I bet you get a lot of those. Yeah. Can
So
I ask?
many.
Can I ask you a question about that? Which one? How do you choose which ones to listen to and which ones to ignore?
I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
Yeah.
I ignore all of them.
Oh, let's
I'm
consistent.
basically on permanent do not disturb.
Sure.
But if things just naturally work out, people think their prayer has been answered.
That's
If things
true.
don't work out, then they just say that Jesus had other plans for them.
You got this down. You
And
don't even need a call center.
exactly. Um, so what is the big I know you had mentioned things like, not being able to how hard it is in the industry to get representation or to get
Yeah.
noticed. What are some of the things that you've enjoyed about being an indie author?
Well, I mean, I set up about a year ago now a Facebook author page, and I met some really cool authors out there that are going through the same thing. Particularly, it's nice to talk to the ones that have a level head about it and aren't obnoxious about it. But yeah, I've kind of met and befriended a handful of them, kind of learned from each other, share experiences. That's been really cool. That's probably been one of the best things. Because let's face it, most of my readers, other than friends and family, are fellow indie authors, which I appreciate. I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, that's pretty awesome that we're looking out for each other.
I mean, I understand I had 12 people that followed me around, and we all had common interests and thing. Well, except for that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, then there's Doubting Thomas. I mean, that had to get old after a while. And he's like, "Oh, what
Oh,
about this? What about that? Oh,
that,
I can see the strings. That's not really flying." He was
yeah.
probably insufferable at times, I would think.
So insufferable. That Thomas,
Yeah.
was that in the Bible?
Yeah. At least one.
Hmm,
Yeah, he was there a few
maybe
times, I think.
maybe I should read it.
Yeah. It's probably been a while. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever read it. Once you lived it, you kind of don't want to
Yeah, I know.
revisit like your crucifixion. That's a lot to.
That part's got to be rough. You just skip it and watch the Mel Gibson movie if you really, I guess you really want to.
The chosen one. My son Mel Gibson. What is that
That's the
beeping?
way to look at it.
Oh, I have Discord open on my computer, and there's some hens just
Banter.
clucking. Yeah.
Ugh,
Just, oh.
insufferable.
So, do you read other things besides sci-fi?
I do actually. That's kind of something I challenged myself the last few years, where I'll read anything. Like I'll read. Um, I've even read some romances. I've read some. I read a autobiography from a Swedish rapper that I had never heard of, and I'm not even into rap. But I got it. I thought, and it was really good. So yeah, I kind of, I like sci-fi and fantasy, but I try to mix things up a little bit for perspective.
What advice would you have for indie authors who are just wanting to break out, who are just starting to put words to paper?
Well, I think for one, you need to just go with it. I mean, my biggest enemy is when I slow down and start overthinking what I'm doing. And I think to get through a draft is like key because then you can fix it. You can fix it numerous times. You can do whatever. So just plug along and don't get a big ego about it either. I mean, it's gonna be a slog. And if you believe in what you're doing, success is relative. But yeah, just don't be kind of obnoxious about it and just keep your head cool.
Is there one thing that you regret about your journey as an indie author?
That's a great question, Jeezy. I don't think so. No, there's not much. I mean, I guess there's one thing. I really did rush my first book out. I was in a weird headspace. I was tired of looking at it. And lo and behold, one afternoon, I'm like, I'm just gonna hit publish. And I did. And luckily it worked out for me, but I wouldn't recommend people do that. Take your time, don't rush. If you're an indie author, timelines aren't that important. And I mean, just get it right before just getting it out there. But even
Um,
that was a learning experience, so I don't regret it.
so do you are do you are what's the expression? Are you a plotter, a pantser, or do you not even believe in any of that?
I mean, I'm not absolute. I'm definitely not a pantser, but I don't meticulously map out every single thing. I do an outline. I kind of figure out where I'm headed, but then sometimes along the way, things will feel like just I'll kind of figure things out as I go. But I would say I'm 75% plotter.
Well, that you said 70%?
Yeah, it's 70, 75. It's not a hard
75?
number.
Okay. Well, that explains the like the 25-30% of your book that I didn't like.
Yeah, that's pretty low percentage. It's good. I mean, it means you liked it more than you didn't.
Yes, that is true. That is, look at you and your silver linings.
Well, I mean, and it's a higher percentage of like than I did of your book, to be honest. But that's I hope you don't take that personally. It's a lot to get into. It's long.
It really could have used some editing.
Yeah. And plus there's like same story told different ways. It's like pick one.
It's a real
Matt,
Rashomon situation.
yeah. I mean, less is more sometimes. Do you need Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? You probably could have just picked the top two, I think.
Look, when you do an anthology, you just got to accept what comes your way.
Right. With anthologies, sometimes you get people that, are good, sometimes they're not.
I mean, can you imagine being part of an anthology and it just says like featuring John?
Yeah, I mean, Mark, Matthew, Luke gonna feel about that?
Yeah, it would just be.
I mean, I'm pretty sure all four were probably roughly the same in terms of prominence. Did you ever see their other works? It's not like John would have like 10 times more. He's not some big name.
So
So
they
it's
just
like,
wrote a
John, you're
lot.
just one of the four, dude.
Yeah. They just wrote a lot of letters.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
exactly.
was just
Epistles, I think they called them back then.
exactly the apostles
Yeah,
writing epistles.
apostles, epistles. Yeah, that's kind
Yeah.
of
Mm,
interesting.
mm.
But no, I mean, I think they should have equal footing if it's an anthology.
Well, yes, I believe that as well. Like the font of like John should not be bigger than anybody else on the cover.
Yeah, unless
Come on.
John's like some bestseller for 10 years or something. I
Yeah, but he's
absolutely
not.
agree.
He's not.
No. Yeah, I think he wrote like one book or something. It wasn't a big deal. Or letters.
Right. So moving on from anthologies, what is
Yeah.
coming down the pipeline for you? Are you going to dip your toe in things that you've not tried before, like good writing?
I hope so one day. I mean,
Well,
I gotta learn from others, maybe steal their ideas, and then maybe one day I'll be
yeah.
credible. Yeah.
Start at like Dr. Seuss and just move your way up.
Right. No, I'm gonna keep working at it. I got another book I'm knee deep in my next book, so that's good. Um, I guess maybe now's a strange time to mention I actually wrote something for an anthology, but that'll come out late
Oh,
summer. Yeah,
is
didn't
your
mean to make that
name
awkward.
bigger than everybody else's?
No.
Okay. Um, so you have are you going to are you working on anything in different genres?
So that
Anything?
was, but no, otherwise I'm gonna finish this fourth book, and then and it's sort of been a lifelong goal of mine. I'm gonna start a fantasy trilogy, or not trilogy, a fantasy series. And yeah, I kind of got that already underway. I might tackle that before I continue on in the sci-fi universe. But we'll see. It's fluid. I'll see how it goes. If I feel like writing the fifth one right away, I will.
Have you ever tried not writing?
Yeah, it's probably a good chunk of my life,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
why it
yeah.
took me to almost
Those good
50 to get
good
published.
times. Oh, yes. Hmm.
Do you recommend? I mean, it seems like you're a little mixed. Do you think I should stop?
I mean, it's not like I know what's mapped out for you or anything. You just whatever you want. You, what makes Steve Buscemi happy?
Grubschmidt.
Who?
Buscemi's the other guy. We talked about that already, Jeezy.
Hmm, hmm,
But it's okay. We can move on.
yeah, we can move on. Steve
Right.
Grobschmidt.
Yeah, you got it.
Yes. Um,
I'd say you could write it on your hand to keep track of it, but again, the stigmata probably would make that a little bit of a problem, I would imagine. So maybe we'll get you like a whiteboard or something.
um, if if your book was turned into a movie, who would you want the director to be?
Oh, that's a good question. Not Mel Gibson.
Oh,
I mean, because the lesbian thing probably would be a problem, I would think.
oh, I think he might be fine with that.
Yeah, it's probably the same as you. It's like it's
Yeah,
the dudes. It's the
yeah.
dudes, isn't it?
Ugh,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what they do.
That's is that like a Haktua thing that you just did there? You
That's
got it.
gross. Um, so you don't. How about Denis Villeneuve as the director? He did. He did Dune.
Oh, let's see those. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd take that.
yeah. You don't know many directors. I was trying to throw you a bone there, buddy.
Yeah, I just kind of, in for me, yeah, I wasn't really prepared for that one, but it's a good question. Maybe when we do this again sometime, I'll have a better answer for that one.
Well, you mull it over, and then the next time that we have a interview session, I will ask that question again, and you should be prepared.
And
Now,
I won't say Mel Gibson again. So I'll have some fresh material.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about who who I know a lot of authors don't necessarily picture celebrities when they're writing their books, but if somebody was to make a movie again, this is different than the director question. This is completely different. Who
Yeah.
would you want playing your main character?
This I've spent a lot of time t thinking about. So I don't know if you're familiar, GZ, with the Loki TV series.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah, so like I don't know, I'm trying to remember the character. Sylvie, like, was played by Sophia Di Martino. That's who I've kind of pictured to be Lorelai Ogden. Um, Ever since I saw that, I thought, wow, I could see her playing that character.
I'm realizing just now that I should probably have muted Discord.
Oh, they said, is it still like blah 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 blah?
Yeah, as long as you can't hear it, that's fine. It's
I
just
can't.
it's
So
just bloop 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 bloop.
I mean, it's incessant. You got to tune out, David. There's just a
Bunch of
lot of
chatty
people just
Cathy's.
shooting their mouths off. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Just quiet it down.
yeah. Unless they're talking about something I really like characters named Rini or something. It's like just give it a rest.
I miss Rainy.
I do too.
Um, so uh I just realized the rest of my questions were about the fire, the being a firefighter on 9/11.
Yeah, I'd have to like. I mean, I could make maybe a fiction, like a book about that, like, or I just make it up. But yeah, other
No,
than that, I'm not really an expert. I know a firefighter, but I don't think he was there.
well, I also can't ask you about your roles in like Boardwalk Empire or anything. Hmm.
Yeah, I tried to get on there as a bit part, but they didn't accept me. So probably because of the Steve. You can't have two Steves in the same movie. I think that's like a rule.
That's probably what it
Yeah,
is.
that's the only reason I would think.
Where do you live?
I live in the beautiful, wonderful city of Milwaukee in Wisconsin,
Oh,
here in the United States. Yeah, no, I know there's, it's gotten in the news recently, but it's really quite wonderful.
what's it been in the news for?
Well, I mean, somebody called it a horrible city, and it's not. It's quite lovely. It's on a big lake. It's nice parks, and yeah, it's
Is
great.
it a
I've lived here all my
swimmable
life.
lake?
Yeah, for some. I don't know that I'd go in there, but it's not that bad. It's better than, I mean, it's Lake Michigan. It's big.
Yeah, it's a big lake. If it's
It's
Lake
not
Michigan.
saltwater like, where more like where you were.
And what is your address?
Um, you would don't you know?
I do. I was just seeing if you were going to say what it was.
No.
It's
I
not
learned that
like
mistake. I did an interview not long ago where they asked about my social security number, and I just thought, well, it's an interview. You got to be honest, and yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Um, well, I tried. Um, so uh your your what is the publishing timeline? When is your next book tentatively coming out?
So if I were to guess, because I don't have a firm date, I'm shooting for maybe first half of next year. I mean, it's moving well, but I'm not gonna rush it out. I want to get it in the hands of some good beta readers when the time comes. Take my time, let it marinate. So I'm figuring maybe early next year.
Are you going to do editing? Some people think editing is for sucker chumps.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of editing. I mean, I don't know how to say this any other way. I just don't want to put shit out there.
Oh no, I feel you. I read a
Yeah,
lot of books, and there are a
yeah.
lot of books that really people are just like, why edit? Why? What's the
Yeah, why
point?
edit? Just get it out there. Yeah, crank it
Use
out. No.
use context clues to figure out what I was trying to say.
Yeah. No, that's not me. Like I said, I rushed my first one out and it still was fairly polished, but I'm just gonna take my time. A wise fellow indie author told me that why make updates just to make your life stressful? Just nobody cares. Just get it out when it's ready.
That is very wise.
Yes.
Um, how's the marriage?
Good, very good. I got a very supportive household here. My wife, Tamara, and our dog Benji are a great support system. And yeah, we're just had a few
Wow,
days off from work, and yeah.
you really went for originality on the Benji name.
Yeah, I know. He kind of looks like a Benji. The Foster family named him that. We kept it, but it works. It works for him.
Okay, so the marriage is fine.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, we did live in sin for a while before we got married, but
That's really what I was
that's it.
getting at. I'm glad that you
That's
fixed
what you were
that.
getting at. Yeah. Yeah, no, I knew where you're going with that. It's kind of acceptable now with Jeezy.
Do you ever like think, why did she choose me of all the good looking people in the world?
All the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, did you think that with Mary Magdalene?
I'm
Oh, I shouldn't have brought, sorry.
I never did anything with Mary Magdalene.
And one of the books that I don't know, I thought I heard otherwise, but okay, I believe you. I mean, you wouldn't lie
I
on your
had
own
those
pod.
books stripped from the Bible.
Yeah, true. So they must not be
They were
true.
they were salacious.
Yes.
And I don't even think her name was Mary. How many Marys would there be in that time? You know,
It really wasn't very original. I mean, yeah, your mom,
it's a very
your
English name.
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's like Mary, Elizabeth, Ruth. Blah.
Yeah, come on.
I think those names were made up.
Jezebel, I mean, that was more believable.
Um, so let me check my notes here. You are not Steve Buscemi.
No, absolutely not. Still not.
Okay. When you bought those glasses, were you like, these are cute?
Yeah, I did.
Did you ever consider different frames? The lenses are
I
fine.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, they do definitely help me see things like you better. But it's a little different style than I normally have, but I can tell by your questions that you think they're really cool.
Well, yeah, let's go with that.
Sure.
Yeah. And tell me a little bit about your goatee and this facial hair situation. This
Yeah,
went
I
back.
know. I think it's probably like more of a recent development to have not the full beard. Yeah, it's just a little more controlled. I mean, I don't look good without facial hair, but I don't want the full. I had a beard for a long time, but yeah, I just
I
thought
was
I'd
going to ask if
keep
you
it
could.
down.
I was going to ask if that baby smooth skin could even grow facial hair.
It takes a long time. Like if I were to cut this, it would take months and months to grow back to what
Is
it was.
that why
So
you kept
that's
it?
why I leave it.
Okay, that's why you've kept it since high school. Like that, like puberty hit. That first hair came in on your face,
Mid
and
mid 20s is
right.
when I grew a beard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, because that's when it would finally come in like luxurious.
Yeah, I put like chia seeds down and then it helped it grow.
Understood. Understood. And do you have a regimen for keep? Do you have beard oils and
I do. I don't use them all the time, but no, I try to just keep it, I should shave I shave my head and face once a week. And yeah, it's kind of my keep it low key, low maintenance.
so are you mad at my father for taking your hair away?
No, it's better this way. It's like again, one less thing to worry about.
Exactly, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean,
Thy will be done, right?
exactly. I mean, my hairline is receding. Look at that. That's a lot. So that's a five head that I have.
Yeah, that's kind of I didn't expect that. I mean, I see the footage, like the photos and the artwork and stuff. It's always this full mane of blonde and brown hair,
I know. I
like
I have a
Fabio.
certain I have a certain look.
Yeah. So this is the real you.
This is the real me. Take it or leave it, ladies. It's the real me.
Yeah. I bet they'll take it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Uh so your look is sort of like, oh, homeless wizard.
I do play Dungeons and Dragons, so I mean that's probably fair.
Well, that tracks.
Yeah, that tracks. Yeah. Homeless wizard.
Yeah, it's a good thing you got married or you wouldn't have any dates.
It's probably true. Yeah. I'm not even gonna argue with you on that one.
Yeah, just you got her, and then you were just like,
You just gotta hold
just
on to her. Yeah.
yeah, just you're stuck with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just don't know.
Just
Um,
try to keep making as much money as possible so that she sticks around.
so what do you use for writing? Are you a Word guy or are you
I use Google Docs actually, because then it's just there. I can kind of, plus I guess, we're well into this. It's time for me to admit I'm a lifelong Mac user. And even though they make Office for the Mac, I've really never had it. So I just use the Google Docs, and I keep all my files there and notes and everything.
And what is the password to your Google account?
So I love Jesus.
You just earned yourself a spot in a place that exists that you don't believe exists.
Oh, thank God. I mean, it's good to just kind of have coverage, because I could be wrong, and then at least now I don't know, I can sleep better at night.
What's one thing you want readers to know about you that they might not know?
I am a huge lifelong fan of professional wrestling, and I've been doing a wrestling podcast for the last several years. We're like 160 some episodes in. That's one that surprises people.
Would you say that you're sort of a celebrity in the professional wrestling
Somewhat of a
podcast?
celebrity. Yeah,
Okay.
somewhat of a celebrity maybe in local wrestling podcasts, because I don't know how many there are.
Understood. Um, anything else that you would like your readers to know? All 7 of them.
Oh, I gained a couple. That's cool. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm a pretty genuine dude. I think people you can follow me on Facebook and the other that's the main place. And yeah, I'm a pretty approachable dude, and I think that probably helps a lot. 'Cause I'm not a douchebag.
Okay. Well, you're definitely not a douchebag.
Thank you.
Maybe
Maybe just a
the
douche.
nozzle or
Then yeah.
or 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 the ingredients, it's just vinegar and water, or I don't know
Yeah.
what goes in them.
I would imagine you wouldn't.
No need. Um, so Steve
Grubschmidt.
Well, I think
Buscemi
we've
is the other
reached the
guy.
end of the interview because I really don't have anything else to discuss that's not about firefighting on 9/11.
Yeah, that's probably the end then. I mean, but you still managed to find some good questions to ask that weren't about that.
Yeah, I
Unless
like to
Steve
keep.
Buscemi's an indie author, and then there's nothing
Oh
unique
no,
about
he's
me.
legitimately published. But I
Yeah, that's
wonder
true.
if it's only because he's a celebrity. I wonder if he would have, if he wasn't, Steve Buscemi, if he would have just had to self-publish that.
Probably.
Of course, nobody would be interested now, would they?
No, he'd probably have like 8 because his name's shorter. He'd probably have 8, 9 readers instead of 7.
I'm sorry about that. That was an unnecessary dig.
But if he writes smut, I bet that's
Oh,
something I don't write.
yeah,
That's where the
those
money's at.
numbers, those numbers will be through the roof.
Absolutely.
Well, if you ever write smut, as you say, or as the people say,
Like,
I'm sure that would be huge. You wouldn't have any fade to black sex scenes. That's what I know.
that's true. It'd be more than that, far more than that.
Exactly. Well, Steve Grobschmidt, we're gonna
Yes.
go. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. This has been a wonderful time for you, I'm sure, to talk to the Lord and Savior.
It's a big honor. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it's gonna stay with you forever. And I love that for you. I love it for you.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a
Love it.
lot.
Please join us next time on the next episode of Jeezy Reader with another indie author to be determined. In case
The
you
bar's
didn't know,
pretty high.
yeah. In case you didn't know, Steve, you are the pilot episode.
I'm honored. And nobody else can take that away from me unless they kind of swoop in and like convince you to do it first or make their name bigger or
Exactly.
something.
Like
Yeah.
I'll just hold on to this one, and then because sometimes pilots never get released. They're filmed,
That's
and then there's
true.
another pilot that takes the place.
Nobody remembers Jeffrey Hunter as Captain Pike, but everybody remembers Captain Kirk. So, I mean, yeah, there's that
Exactly.
risk. Yeah.
Unless I take footage from this interview and insert it into another episode with the first guest. And then that's a little too the menagerie or whatever that episode was called.
You got it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to let you go now. Thank you for stopping by. And when your next books come out, we'll have to do this again.
I'd be honored.
I should be better prepared because I will be expecting you.
Yes, not Buscemi. And
Exactly.
I will have a good director in mind for my
Exactly.
movies.
That's really the important part. And
Yeah.
I am going to fire my assistant post haste and make sure that this never happens again.
That's a good idea.
I
There's
meant the Steve
probably some
Buscemi
things you
part.
should know about him
Yeah.
too that that are sinful.
We'll talk. We'll take that offline.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Bye.